Hey everybody, Larry Lawton here. We have a great show for you today. I have Be Like Joe, and you're going to hear all about Joe and what Joe is doing right in this video. We're going to have a great interview because this is going to be a great show. First, before we get started, check us out on Patreon, check us out on the YouTube programs. Check all the links below, from Instagram to all the stuff like that. It helps, and you guys have been helping. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, put it in your playlist, do all that. You know where you get the good info, right here. Gangster Redemption book, and we're going to talk even about that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring on Be Like Joe. His name, let me give you a little background. His name is Joe Sample. He happens to be my step-nephew. And what he's done, and you're going to see, and we're going to throw up a few clips. He's a character. He was the Gorilla Man in Iowa, and if you don't know what that is, just put Gorilla Man Iowa, and you'll laugh. We'll put up a little clips. When he was young, he was crazy. But what he does today is he helps people, and he helps his town, and he pretty much saved the town. And if we could replicate that, and if we could help people do that, we're going to all be better off for it. That's why I like what we're doing today. And we got some funny stories, because, man, once we get sat down, and we were around another nephew's pool talking, I said, this would be a great show. Because Joe's crazy, it'll be a lot of fun, and people will love it. So, without further ado, hey Joe.
Hey, how we doing?
Now, today we're just going to have fun. We're going to talk about some stuff and how you started to be like Joe. And not only you started, some of the crazy stories, because, what I like to show people, you're about 40 years old?
47.
47, man. Well, you're looking good. You're 47 years old, but besides, and you were a screw up or a kid having fun in college and doing all this stuff.
I partied a lot, had a little fun, and did some fun things that got me a little publicity back in Iowa. Yeah.
You didn't think about it, publicity. You just did it because you're probably drunk, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I went there wearing an outfit, and we just kind of went to the game, and guy I was with was my roommate, and his dad was a president of a bank, and his lawyer friend, and they're like, you have any hair on your back at all? You run across the field, and I'm like, And I was up in Minnesota at the Metrodome, so you could drink in that stadium back in the day, So it was one of those things, and I did it. And
you see it here, right, guys? We're going to put it up right here. And what made me laugh about it, back in 1981 maybe, I ran across the field in Hawaii during the Hula Bowl. People saw me in Texas, but I went naked. And I put a Coast Guard flag around my neck for money, a dare. I jumped from one end during the halftime, went in and out of the band, security's chased me. I jumped into the stands, people were screaming the whole side. I thought I got away with it, then I got a tap on the back because I had my shorts in my hand when I ran across, put my pants on, everyone was screaming. I jumped in the seat, I thought nobody was catching me. I get tapped on the shoulder, come with me. All they did back then was throw you out, but it was so crazy. I had a Coast Guard flag. I thought I was going to get. Even the Coast Guard didn't care. It wasn't like that. So I got a kick out of that. I don't suggest you do that today. You'll probably be in jail. Did you go to jail?
Yeah, you know what? I did. So when I ran I ran 110 yards. I went from end zone to end zone, and at the end, I sort of did a Heisman pose, and then the cops came in. I was done. I let them take me, whatever. Gave up, whatever, and they took me to a room and watched the rest of the Hawkeye game on it. Which was great. Yeah. They took me to Hennepin County Jail, and they booked me for just like a simple misdemeanor. It was like a disorderly conduct.
Right.
$110 ticket. So I was there. So the guys came to bail me out at the jail, and they're like, "No, you don't have to bail him out. He's gonna be released in like 2 hours." So they gave me directions to where my car was and all that stuff, but when I was in there, I had the gorilla suit on still, and there was a guy in the cell. So I'm in the cell in a gorilla suit type of deal, and because they already patted me down and stuff, and they're like, this guy, the game was actually, they're showing replays of the game in the jail cell and on the TV in there, and so a guy started fighting with me. He was like getting pissed because he didn't like who I was or whatever, and they ended up moving him to a different cell. But I got released 2 hours later. It was a disorderly conduct ticket, $110 I think it was.
But you did it again.
I did.
You went to the Iowa basketball. Now this one's great, guys. Watch this for a second.
Showed up tonight. You got it. Gorilla Man with a rather weak attempt at a slam dunk. Funny? Maybe. Stupid? Yes. It cost the Hawkeyes 2 points. Get that guy off the floor and take him to jail. Thank you very much.
Is that crazy? He steals the ball from a player, but the best part, he fucking misses the dunk. Tell us about that. Tell me about that.
Oh gosh, so I had.
You had to have a buddy with you.
I did. So I was at a bar called the Airliner, which was my hangout, and Randy Larson owned it, who was a big time Hawkeye guy. He had the primetime league in the summer, and so I'm at the bar, and he's like, sample, and he saw the gorilla one in the football game, and he's like, sample, I got front row seats for you. Would you put the gorilla suit on and do something for the game? He's the owner of the bar. I looked up to him, I'm a college kid. I'm having fun. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. He took a hat around the bar, took his hat off, and went around the whole bar, raised, I think it was $370. And I'm like, okay. So I went back to my apartment, got the gorilla suit on, came back to the bar. He fed me drinks, gave me the tickets, and I went to the game. And I had my little buddy Jason Fine. I said, hey, we're gonna do this thing, and I said, so we're the whole first half. I'm high fiving Herky, and
Herky, who's Herky?
Herky, that's our mascot.
Okay, do you remember people around the world don't know what the fuck Herky
so
is?
Herky's our mascot. So I'm on the front, right on the floor, high fiving them, go Hawks,
And you're in a gorilla outfit.
In the gorilla outfit, yes. So the whole second half, so that went through the whole first half. Second half, we're up by we're playing Northwest, we're up by 15, 20 points or so, and I said, I think it's the time now, So I brought in a little mini basketball, and I said, go to the other end of the court, and then when you see me go on, I need you to get on your hands and knees, in between the free throw line and the basket so I can jump off your back, try to dunk it. Well, they were getting ready to throw in the ball, and Montero Glassers come, so I'm going out there. They throw the ball in. I was trying to do a little stopped. They throw the ball in. I'm running out there. I run into Montero Glassberg. The ball gets dropped out of my hands. Northwestern guy, our opponent, got it at the half court line, right? And I go up to him, give me the ball, give me the ball.
You grabbed the ball from him.
He did. He's like, what the heck? What's going on? I grab it, go down. My buddy gets out there, so when I jumped off his back caved in and started playing strong. So I'm blaming the missed dunk on that guy. So I went up and I actually was high enough and I hit the back of the rim.
Oh, it was kind of funny when the ball didn't go. They were laughing. Did you get arrested there again?
I did.
Did he get arrested? Your partner?
He did. So I got disorderly conduct and he got aiding and abetting disorderly conduct.
And misdemeanors, though.
Yeah, civil misdemeanors.
Now, are you banned at this point from Iowa sports or anything?
So here's what happens. I go back to Randy Larson from the Airliner had a bartender or someone from his bar come there to the jail and bail me out. So I went back to his bar and
now you're a hero.
Yeah.
Oh, were they going nuts?
So the Daily Iowan, which is the Iowa City big paper for there, the Daily Iowan calls me there. Which how do they know? So I he must have made a
sure.
So he takes me back to his back office and I do an interview with them real quick and then go back to the bar and that night was crazy. So I had 8 of my buddies with me and we went bar hopping in the gorilla suit. Every bar I went into hey, get over here, shots. It was just.
So you were a hero in Iowa, at least.
Yeah.
In Iowa sports.
Next day, the front page of the paper, the Daily Iowan, was an 8x10 picture of me going up for the dunk like this.
But they didn't show you missed it.
No, thank God.
You had what we used to call that when I was a kid, white man's disease.
Yes.
But today, it's so funny. You can see my size. I'm 250 pounds. I'm 5 foot, whatever. When I was a young kid, I was a pretty good basketball player. I could actually dunk a tennis ball.
No kidding.
I could actually dunk a tennis ball. I was just, I had ups. I was a little kid and I was real good at ball. Played all sports and from fighting to all the sports. I used to play with the older kids too. But anyway, let's keep going. So now, obviously you move on your career, you do, and what really attracts me and attracts a lot of people even when I start talking about you now. First of all, if people don't know him, Be Like Joe is an icon in Iowa. But we're going to build him to get, I think it should be all over the country because you came up with an idea during COVID to help people. Help restaurants and help businesses and stuff. Explain to my audience exactly what Be Like Joe is.
So what Be Like Joe was, what started it off was the pandemic happened and everything was shutting down. Restaurants were shutting down. And I lived in my hometown my whole life. My dad had a pharmacy, he was local. I had all these local businesses. My wife worked at a salon that was local. She worked at a restaurant that was local. And I knew what was hurting this town, and everything was shut down. People were hurting. They didn't have jobs, the money wasn't coming in because no one would go out to eat, whatever. So what I did is started to go out to eat at different places. And at that time, they weren't, you couldn't sit down. So it was takeout only. And So I would go to these places and try to make a fun post out of it. You know, okay, these guys are open for takeout. Like there's one place, Jonesy Tenderloins. They had this big tenderloin. I had my Cubs hat on. I had this by my head, the tenderloin. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, this is a great tenderloin. And it made fun posts. I'd even put costumes on and stuff and make fun of the post. And what happened was there was a Facebook page made that was kind of a support local, carry out, delivery that I was posting these on, trying to get people to do this. Well, I became the Where's Waldo? So instead of Where's Waldo, Where's Joe gonna eat tomorrow? And people started following this on these posts that I was doing, and it just like snowballed. It just kept getting bigger and bigger, and like, where's Joe gonna eat? So one guy would post on there, you know, oh, I'm gonna eat here or whatever. No, where's Joe gonna eat at? You know,
they want to know where's Joe? Be like Joe. Where's Joe?
Where's Joe gonna eat?
The last time I saw you, you were a little heavier, so I guess you were eating a lot.
Yeah, sure. I gained about. I was the heaviest I weighed in the fall after all this happened, and but anyways, the restaurants that I would go to would call me or direct message me on Facebook and say, you know what, since you made that post, we have been nonstop busy. Like we can't even handle the business, and I just want to thank you for coming there. You know, because I was advertising, people would see that and they come in and like just busier than all get-go. So then other restaurants were hearing about that, so I was getting direct messages on Facebook, and I couldn't keep up with them.
Now, were you going with a team or just yourself?
Just myself.
With an iPhone or a phone? Or whatever.
Basically, my Samsung. Every once in a while, I'd take my daughter, my 10-year-old Devin, and she'd come with me every once in a while, but mostly myself.
It kind of reminds me of how I started YouTube, with my iPhone in my hand, literally in my little room.
Crazy.
And, you know, at a computer desk, just seeing a need and filling it. And you did the exact same thing, and the same thing was mine, because I have fun with my show. I have fun with here, but the bottom line is we always like to help people at the end. We always like to make sure kids get it. You could have fun, you could party, you could do whatever, but you have to control it, and you have to make good choices at the end. You can't be stupid. You got to think before you act. And I always try to emphasize that. That's my show. But with fun, you know, you're doing the same thing. You're probably a sloppy guy on there fucking eating. Now you have a YouTube. It's Be Like Joe, I think, isn't it?
Yep.
And we're gonna help support that and sponsor. I'm gonna be on there, and you guys can look in the links below. You'll see Be Like Joe. He has a YouTube. I want to blow Joe up. I think Joe's needed. We need Joes everywhere, actually.
Amen.
We need people who want to see their little communities go. Joe has got the personality, though, to keep that going in a bigger way. I think, you know, looking at your what you've done, Joe, I'm impressed. One, you're a good storyteller. You like to have fun what we're doing. And now the next thing is, now you review food. You need to maybe like, hey, and if the guy ain't fucking good, hey buddy, you gotta step it up. You can be nice about a review.
Absolutely.
But do a review, and then now, you know, people want to see in that community, but then you expand a little bit wider and a little bit wider and a little bit wider. Obviously, people are gonna, you know, gravitate towards the storytelling you do. Because we were talking some stories, how crazy you were when you were a kid, and hunting and partying. But you know, you could be a partier, but you could also work. You could also raise a family. You could all do the right thing. You know, there's too many people who think you can't have fun and be this way. You have to be some bullshit way, and that's all. I call it boxed people. People who are fucking, you know, they're looking through life in fucking blinders, and they're not looking at life in the big picture. Say, you know, you can have fun, you can do different things, you could be a different person, you could be who you are, and still be respected, still be a community person. You know, still be that person and that raises a good family. I got 2 nephews. You know, you and your brother, they're good. You raise kids. He's a good father, but you can have fun, and that's what's important, I think. And I tell my kids, don't ever lose that fact of having fun, because if you do, you know, what the fuck is life about? You know, and I think about that now. And now, what's your craziest? Some of your crazy stories we were talking about around the pool. Oh, some of your college stories. You're allowed. This channel's this is a non-kid channel, technically. Yeah. So you can say whatever you want.
I got a lot of stories. I mean, I could probably write a book about it, but I don't know how much detail I want to go into.
Well, you worried about your wife? Who are you? Well, first of all, I can tell you this legally. The statute of limitations up. And I know the law about that. What do you do now, Joe, for fun? You're 47. You have a young daughter. I know her. She's what a dynamite little kid too. And do you have a little older too? Though?
So I got a 16-year-old and a 10-year-old. She'll be 11 next month. But yeah, phenomenal girls. The 16-year-old's a big dancer, and the 10-year-old, she loves being on the farm. She helps out. She donates her time at Bloomsbury Farms in Iowa, which is a big thing where they have like slides and people come in all over, and they so she just loves it out there. She's a
Iowa, we call Iowa a flyover state. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Not much for me to. I've seen the only thing in Iowa, which is Hoover's Museum. But the President Hoover's Museum. What do you do now? Like, what's your fun? Where do you, when you want to let go? You're at work. What do you do? You work in the insurance business or something?
I do sales.
Yeah.
I do sales for a steel company. So
Okay.
I sell big steel metal buildings and so forth. But for fun, I mean, I love to hunt. I love to fish. I love to party with my brother. And then I bought a pontoon last year, so we do pontoon this summer.
Boat. Now, how fucking old are you? Pontoon boat. They're like guys my age, and even I won't fucking buy one.
Well, I had to get it because my wife, she had big boobs, and on the Bayliner we have, like it bounced all the time. It kind of hurt her a little bit. So she's like, I want to get a pontoon. That way we can get our daughter's on there.
Well, there's no ocean in Iowa.
No, but there's lakes. And,
there's no ocean. Over here in Florida, where your brother got a boat, if he got a pontoon boat, try to go out the inlet, I'd be getting a phone call. Right. The Coast Guard picked them up.
But basically, it was family. So we had a boat that would only fit so many people, right? And my daughter, we want them to be on the boat with us, and she always wanted to bring friends, right? So how do you get a lot of friends on a boat? You buy a pontoon. So
Oh no, they can be fun.
That's what we did. No, I get it.
That's a party. I mean, I've been on a pontoon boat where it was nothing but a keg. And people had fun and stuff of that nature. I get all that. Everybody can have fun. I'm looking at the things like, when you start be like Joe and you're going to go to different restaurants and people are going to start asking you, hey, Joe, I want to be like Joe. Well, but I got in trouble for this. I got in trouble for that. Like you did. You got in trouble as a kid. People ask me all the time, Larry, I want to do what you do and I'm in trouble. How do you get out of trouble? What are you going to tell them?
You do a lot of stupid things when you're young. It's just, that's your nature, right? You do stupid things, you get in trouble for it, and I did a lot of stupid things. My dad's bailed my ass out so many times. I've been to jail.
How many times have you been to jail?
Well, in Iowa City alone, when I was going to college, I was in jail 8 times. And the cops there knew me by name.
Now, what was it? Usually
They come by me, and they see me out, like walking to the next bar, and they say, hey, Joe. They call me by name. They say, Joe, you gonna behave tonight? One night we were at One Night Jake's, and we were up there having fun, and some guy started to fight with me. They said, let's go outside. We went downstairs. Next thing I know, his buddy's like, well, you're not going to fight him, you're going to fight me now. I'm like, whatever.
You fought him and then you had to fight another guy?
I was going to fight him, and then I ended up fighting this other guy.
For what? You don't even know.
Don't even know. Stupid. And, crazy. I had cowboy boots on, and I remember I slipped or something. The guy was on top of me, and I'm kind of holding his arms, and my the guy's like, hey, whatever, and my buddy's throat goes, the guy goes, come on, my buddy's throat goes like, come on, Junior, come on, trying to get me motivated, and the guy goes, come on, Junior, and I just, as soon as he did that thing, I flipped the motherfucker over, and I was like, boom, 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 and then we all just dispersed before the cops came, so I didn't get arrested that time. But another time, I had a good friend in Vito's that, we were dancing on a dance floor with some girls, and this guy pushed my best friend. And I just grabbed the guy, like this, and his nose blew up, and it was crazy,
He's still fighting.
Everywhere, yeah. So they left. They ended up getting kicked out because I knew the owner of the bar real good, and they kicked him out, and they waited for us to come out of the bar later, and my buddy came out first, and they just smacked him, yeah. And so
now this is your college years.
College years, yeah. So I did some stupid things in college, and
Did you get, like most young people, you're in your 20s, most people get in trouble of some sort,
Yeah.
Usually it takes an incident to kind of say, well, I'm done with this shit. What was yours?
Boy, I tell you, I would say, I don't know, I live on the edge quite a bit, but I just felt like, you get a family going and stuff like that. That was a change for me, because you don't want to be in the paper with your kids and stuff like that. So once I started my family and had kids, I knew it was time to change, the party style living I'm doing, and concentrate on doing the right thing and being a family person.
And that's what I was getting at with my audience, and I was telling them, you can do that. You can have the fun. I know you as a guy that doesn't get in trouble but like to have fun. You know, we all do stupid shit, and that's just normal. You know, I always worry about people getting hurt or being something stupid, like, you know, really being like an idiot. You know, like drinking and driving. You know, you don't drink and drive. Today you can take an Uber. Right. You know, it's so much cheaper, and it you know, it's a lot more safe. You know, something of that nature. Obviously, you don't do that. You don't get DUIs or something of that nature. Now, your platform would be like Joe. Does anybody ask you about your past, or they just ask you about your eating habits, and do you eat anything?
Yeah, not really. People ask about my past at all. So I mean, when I started going out to those restaurants and stuff, and I got, you know, these restaurant owners were direct messaging me, hey, can you come by because of the volume and stuff. I mean, I've had.
So how did they find you? Facebook? Is it
Facebook?
Is it your Facebook?
So it was a site that we post on, and it was now it's called Rally Cap Challenge, and it's like to rally behind the local places.
Well, we got to make that more where they all come to a YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Because my thought was, you keep doing that, and you can branch off from not only restaurants. You could help other people. You could do, like, you know, whatever, it's Indian reservation, something that's around that's hitting that month, or that is, and you can start building. Because I tell people on my channel, I want you to do one good thing a day. And what I mean by that is, I don't care if it's saying hello to an old lady, you know, or when I'm in my car, I'll take down my Easy Pass, and I'll actually go through the toll lane, pay, and tell them to stop for 10 seconds. Say, man, hey, thanks for doing what you do, man. I hope you're having a great day.
Big deal.
You don't know if that guy had a bad day, he's contemplating his life sucks, and now you tell him something nice. Or an old lady, you tell the old lady to, you know, you bring her packages to her house, you know, or her car. One little thing every day. Just even a thank you or nice, open a door for somebody. You do one good thing, before you know it, it expands, and you feel good about yourself. I know I do. I get hundreds of emails. And I love the emails, you know, and I will tell you one thing you will get. You'll get hate mail, because that's just the volume I get.
Yep.
But, you know, I put that aside because I get a lot more good email, and a lot of you guys out there give me good emails of, hey, you helped me get off drugs, you helped me do the right thing, you helped me understand partying, you know, not quitting, or it's not about quitting, it's about you controlling it, it's about you doing the right thing, it's about respecting other people, it's about, you know, a lot of people ask me, what's the hardest thing you do? My thing is, you know, when I was young, I was very quick-tempered, and I was a fighter, so I liked to fight. And I was a very good fighter, so that's why you see, people can see, I got teeth marks. Look at this, there's teeth marks. Yeah. And I used to like to fight, and I was a good fighter. I was very good. I used to spar with professional fighters, so I know how to use my hands. And now the best part is when I walk away. You know, my instinct is to bam, but when you can walk away, you're a better man for it, because it takes more for me to walk away. And then I say, he's not worth my time.
Exactly.
And even, you know, and I just can't stand bullies. I don't like people who pick on women or kids. I've been around this planet 60 years and never ever hit a woman in my life. Don't have to prove. I'm a 245-pound guy. I don't have to prove that I can hit a woman ever. Now, don't put your hands on me, I used to tell them, because I'll treat you like a man. You put your hands on me, I'll treat you like a man. And not one of them did. And both of my ex-wives are very close friends of mine. And they'll tell you, Larry was, as bad as he was a lot of things, he never ever would do that to us, and they knew that.
You're 100% right, too, about the thank yous and all that little stuff. So I got a letter in the mail 2 days ago. It was from my dental office, River Dental, and they sent me a clip of which I didn't know I was in the newspaper, but I just recently got accepted on the board of the Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah, it was
congratulations.
Awesome. Great program. Big Brothers Big Sisters, I mean, it's helping the youth. I mean, it's phenomenal. And I got into that last year. I got a little brother video.
So you mentor a kid.
Yeah, basically you're the big brother of him. You know?
Good for you, man.
And what a phenomenal thing. And it was amazing. I watched a video, and I was almost in tears watching the video.
Sure.
And that's why I decided to become a big brother, because I was like, God, I want to help that person.
Some people
or
don't
another
have
kid,
it,
right. So I got a letter in the mail, or a card in the mail from the Rivers Dental, and they said, hey, we saw you in the news, you know, under business, and they sent me the clip, which is cool. I didn't know it was in there, right? And it was just awesome, because they're like, you know what, thanks for you doing this, and, you know, helping the youth out. And so little things like that go a long ways. Little thank you notes, little things like that. Exactly what you're talking about.
Well, I always say what you're doing is, what that always shows me is, as bad as I had my life, and I had a lot of ups and downs, both ways, good and bad. I've been on the lowest of lows, in the hole, being abused, to having millions and horses and boats and houses and limousine and driver and everything I wanted. And there's always someone worse off than you, no matter what situation you're in financially or whatever it is, or anything, even health. And there's always people better off than you.
Yeah.
So, and you can't like chase to the stars, or you can't, wallow in your sorrows, because you have to just keep going. You have to move forward and think of how lucky or blessed we all are to have what we have. I mean, and I look at that now as a guy who pretty much controls his own schedules and everything else, but, I work hard still, for audiences and people, because I know you're helping people, and I know that's what you want to do with Be Like Joe. And believe me, people, when you go online, you're going to see videos he's on TV and some of these businesses he saved, and these owners are forever in his debt. And it's something that shouldn't stop with COVID going away. It should not stop. In fact, it should multiply, because there are people who are struggling. These are owners of businesses. Listen, it's not easy to own a business. Everybody knows that. And you're the backbone. You're helping your own communities. You usually get, especially the local restaurants and stuff, and they have struggles. People go, oh, great, he owns a business. Dream, I own restaurants, I own bars. They're not easy, and it's a lot of work, and they have to love what they do. And when the little dips and comes goes, it kills them. And you're doing positive things. Now, you're in Cedar Rapids?
Cedar Rapids, Iowa, yep.
Now, give our audience, people don't know Iowa, obviously. We got people.
Iowa's a 4-hour drive from Chicago, Minneapolis, Kansas City. It's all 4 hours. It's right there. It's
is it a big city?
It's we have about 190,000 probably.
Okay, a couple 100,000 people in Cedar Rapids. So, does it have a city atmosphere so you can go like a downtown?
Yeah, it has a great downtown area and stuff. And then there's the suburbs like every other town there. You have Marion, Hiawatha.
So I got to come out there and do a couple of restaurant videos with you.
100%.
Maybe we'll go into a video and put it live on my YouTube, and we'll have we'll have a meet and greet out there.
Absolutely.
In one of these restaurants and drive it nuts,
And bring your book.
We'll sign books, all that. Yeah, maybe we'll do a book signing.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
have a lot of fun doing that. Because I'm trying to figure my schedule out. Because now COVID's pretty much, I'm double vaccinated and all that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, what I'm going to do as far as traveling. I don't mean just my own travel. I'm talking about as a tour.
Sure.
Where we're going to go, what cities, and what we're going to do. Because then we're going to promote it. And then I'm going to have live events. And people know these bracelets I have, they're going to mean stuff. We're going to have like special access if you have a bracelet.
Nice.
So people who don't realize it, they get the bracelet, they say, oh shit, I got my bracelet. And then we're going to do a couple little things like that. Now, are you going to come out with a cookbook or anything like that?
No,
You have shirts, so you do have shirts.
I do have shirts.
Do you sell your shirts?
I do. I have a local girl that actually worked with my wife at the hair
I love
salon.
them. It's called Support Local, Be Like Joe.
Yeah, she kind of put a couple different ones together and called me up and said, hey, do you like these? And I'm like...
He gave me a hat, everybody, shirt, so I'm going to be wearing that. I love different shirts. So I'm going to wear that too.
She told me, I talked to her, I made a shirt for Larry, and she said she sold 678 shirts as of my last one with
you. Support Local.
Yeah.
And it can be anywhere. Be Like Joe it's got to be the icon of helping. And it's got to have that tagline. That's why everybody I want is YouTube, and go to the YouTube below. You got to watch the Gorilla Men stuff, and then some other videos he's putting up of him on TV and what the local TV did, which is going to be in that YouTube as well. And you can go there and check those little videos. Just starting, so it's going to be good. But he's going to be starting to put up a video probably every week or so, and he's going to figure out how to do it and highlight a restaurant. Whether it's a 15-minute interview the guy, interview the owner, and he can tell you what the specialty and have fun, what his story was. People want to know how he started.
Right.
You go to a restaurant, they go, man, what that restaurant? Then you find out the guy came from Italy, he was a cook. And he found Iowa because his grandmother died in a local place, and he came out here and there was no Italian restaurant. That's how you find stories out, and people want to know them.
Exactly.
My audience always wants to know about how I got through the tough times. Whether it's the hole or prison or even robberies or what you did, you got the same thing, but only in I guess a restaurant or a business aspect. You didn't own one, but you came up with an idea to help people, exactly. And I think people just draw to that. I know I do, and most people do. So we're going to do that. Any other words you have for my audience that can help maybe them? I know you tell them what your website.
The biggest thing in the world, I mean, is go out there and support your local restaurants. You have these small businesses, whether it's a restaurant or a small business, they need your support. So whether you're going out twice a week right now, maybe make it 3 times a week or 4 times a week, but all that helps. All that little bit thing helps. And share your information. Facebook's a great publicity
platform. Anything. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Take a picture of your food. That's how I started. I took a picture of my food. I took a picture of me at the restaurant. So I always took a picture like me behind their sign, the Jonesy's or whatever, or Tommaso's Pizza, so they could see the sign. Then I'd take a picture of the product, the food I was eating, which is phenomenal. And then I always try to take a picture of an employee to show, here's where I'm helping out. Here's
who
where
you're
helping
out. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I do believe you're going to have to be honest. If the food ain't that great, you're going to have to say it. I know it's rough, but honesty is what makes my channel so good.
During this thing, I've expressed my ones that are my favorites, and the ones that I don't.
You just don't say anything.
Don't say much.
Because
of how hard the time was, I don't say much. Do I have some feedback for some? I probably do, and I give it to them on the side. So I don't put it on Facebook, but I'll call them up and say, "Here's my experience," so that way they have a chance to better it, right? And that's what you
No, I agree with that. I know.
I'm honest. I'm honest, but I tell it to them versus blasting it on Facebook. I didn't want to blast them out because they're already hurting, and I wanted to make sure, here's what you need to fix. Here's the issues I had, but I don't put it on social media. But I do be honest and tell them what it is.
Well, again, you got to do that. I think it's good, and the bigger you get, you got to keep that. Don't ever do that. Whether you become a critic, where it goes, you want to keep always helping people. And always understand that you're going to have a bunch of people who are going to respect what you say. You'll have people say, "Fuck you, it was a great place, you don't know what you're talking about." Okay, that's okay, it's my opinion. Exactly. That's what America's about, and that's what this is about. You don't have to follow it, you don't have to like it. Same with my opinion. And I look at it like that, and I say, bottom line, you're helping more people than you're hurting, and you're going to do great things. So I want to thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you having me.
I think you're going to do good. I want to come to Iowa. I think we're going to have fun. We're going to go to a couple of restaurants and have a little fun there and go eat and mess with the owners and put it on YouTube Live. We'll do a couple of great
Love
things.
It. That'd be awesome. I appreciate it.
We're going to do that. Everybody, he was Joe Sample. Be like Joe. Check him out in the links below. It's a great thing what he's doing. You got to check him out. The Gorilla Man will make you laugh and say this kid was crazy, but he still became somebody, and he's raising 2 good kids, and he's a good man, and he's trying to help people. So everybody stay strong, make good choices out there. Check all the links out below. You know where we are. And keep the suggestions coming, movie reviews. We got a whole bunch of stuff coming this year. Have a great day, everybody. Stay strong. Stay out of trouble. Have a good day.